Welcome back to art class, where we slay demons just because it's Tuesday. And we're going to go in the imagination here, but it's real at the same time. And I already recorded this message, and I may post it, but I didn't like it. So we're going to kind of do it again. But as a recap, you're dealing with your inner circle, the revelation of the spirit realm is being shown to you. And the people that you've been interacting with are not quite human, okay? So don't be scared. We got this. Because the only thing that actually gives them power is your fear. So we're not going to succumb to their stupid tactics. It's like a fraternity where you have to be hazed and humiliated and they're doing it just because they know that you're submitting to them. You're like signing an oath, a contract. Don't do it, So what we're going to do, because the fact that you made it here, if you're right here, that means you've discovered a path of purity. You've cleansed yourself. And you were able to step outside of this group for a time or forever, that'd be even better. But you're like, oh my gosh, I need to get away from these people, family, friends. I'm not sure. Lil Wayne came up. Not saying it was him, but it was maybe like somebody that that's like a Lil Wayne fan, might be of significance. And yeah, so let's pull out some cards. AI was really significant. Okay, let me just see what card wants to come out first, because also polyamory came out, and DV, domestic, not so great. What's going on at home? I can't say the word. I don't think. I don't know, but basically bad stuff going on at the house, and okay. I know I'm gonna pull these cards, but we have to have a longer attention. The way to get in front of these beings that are after you, that like want to just torment your life, that cause havoc, is to be able to have a long enough attention span to be in control of your vessel, because that's what this is. This temporary body thing, this meat suit, is just a spaceship to travel in. So if you're not in control of your spaceship, they are. So while you're in control, because that's how you found me, let's talk about it. And if the alarm goes off, I'm sorry. I had to cleanse the space, because we was dealing with some dark beings a minute ago. So if the alarm goes off, we'll just let it go and we'll move on. Whew! But you got this. So let's break the chains. Let's free you from going back to these beings that want your plasma and your DNA exchanging, and their polyamory. Ugh. Like they have there's a group of entities that share their energy, and specifically creating like a legion, almost like a small one though, a small little group. It's like you were being put into a corner. They were like, oh no, this one got away. We gotta go get this one. We gotta get this one back. So there were close ones to you sent to get you back. So there was a lot of small talk going on. There was gossip. There was but there was so much big energy also around you, where you had these protective energies. Okay, so let's see what wants to start the reading. This fool, he's not alive anymore, so I guess there's a bit of respect I need to have there, because he can't speak for himself now, but he had a lot to say when he was alive. And this is a cult leader of a demon. So basically, everybody that follows this mindset is now poisoned and a part of that. So there's this, basically an army was built. Like I'm seeing like a Hitler vibe. Put God first in everything you do, straight up. So there was this legion created that the higher forces took out. And some of these lower level beings were acting in people you knew. So they were coming in your being. If you don't know anything about what is it called? Theology? I don't know the word. The way that he thinks. He was basically saying, if you're a woman, it's all about looks and how pretty you are, and your value is determined. Yeah, I don't want to review it. Just look this man up, please, if you don't know, and just watch a video, because he pretty much does the same thing in every video. It just uses correction as a tool to make women feel small because he feels small. So he has a way that he attacks rather than teaches, because some of his angles were not wrong. I think he had a value system that was somewhat in alignment with truth, but that's how we're tricked. That's how we're deceived. And that's how the devil works. That's how Lucifer works. Okay. The light bearer, like bending light, trickery, world behind a world. Yeah. Behind the scenes, it sounded all good. It sounded all good on the surface, but this wouldn't be coming out if this wasn't also like the energy. Buddha was rich, Jesus was poor, different message. So those that come to the light and poverty and rags versus those that come to the light and riches, big difference. I'm not even saying this man came to the light, but I'm definitely feeling the vibe that, because he had strong religion. Like I think he was a Christian, but we gotta be honest and real. The world is confused about who's what, right? We don't have much of a honest, like, how am I trying to say that? There's a whole bunch of tricks in all of these belief systems. Police, yep, showing up. Because people need to be arrested. My niece said it recently. She's like, I'm going to be a spiritual police officer. Straight up. Like, that makes so much sense. We need some spiritual police officers out here, because this man and those that have this ideology are poisoning the minds of people. Cheating. Yeah, he promoted cheating. He actually was like, oh, it's cool for men to cheat on women. Well, that really feeds into the polyamory that I was picking up on, because these beings around you, these people around you that you're involved in, they were really trying to get you back into their polyamory. And when we are mixing and mingling our juices with other people, and it's not sacred and it's not holy and sanctified, and a union between two beings, a yin and a yang that come together, that's where we're like really confused. So no, we don't need to think like that. That is not healthy. And it's police officer. It's not right. Succubus. So this is a female entity. So look, a succubus, which I think we all know, is a sexual demon. It attaches to a victim that it wants to enjoy lust and pleasure through, right? But in the deeper truth of it all, there could be many ways this is happening. It doesn't have to be, it doesn't matter. There's a succubus energy here. And whether it's in you or the person that is committing polyamory and consciously, somebody's unclean here. And there's an unclean spirit that you're being advised to detach from. Because what these beings are doing in the spirit world, outside of the 3D dense space, is they're gathering legions and armies to go against God for real. And we're all sent here for that reason. We're all a part of this sinful, like fallen. The fallen angels. It all started with the rebellion and the lust after human women, the creation of, before we even had to suffer like we do now, when things were perfect, when things were, there was like longevity and peace, and it was more divine, these spiritual beings that were waking back up to remembering that we are, when we were holy and divine, when we get to enlightenment and get to exist in the flesh. Can you imagine what that's like? Well, these kind of energies prevent that, because these were some of the original demons that were created. In demonology, they talk about the fallen ones who committed the first sin before Genesis, before the Bible, before the religion that we so much, agree with, co-sign, enable today. There was a book left out, the Book of Enoch, which in depth describes, all over the place, in depth describes how the fallen ones mated with the human women and created the Nephilim. These giants, which were like the Attack on Titan, if you've seen that anime, lost their sense of, they were an abomination. And they not only killed a lot of humans and became crazy, then they started offing themselves and like drinking their own blood, like being crazy. So God purified everything, and then Genesis was the beginning again after the purification. Well, these beings were created in that time where the women that mated with the fallen angels, this is all your ancestry. So like, listen up, I got you. This is important to your healing journey, for your ascension to, to the light. They were cursed to become sirens and succubus and all these other demon entities, which are, you can't see them, they're hiding, but they enter your body through coercion, through all types of tricks on your imagination. And they're given authority to do so, because if you're here, that means you're a part of the rebellion against God. Tell me I'm lying. Beelzebub, this is the gluttony. So this is one of the high-ranking beings right here, demons, that has us all fooled down here in gluttony with this ridiculous amount of need for stuff. Okay, which is interesting. The Buddha is here because it's almost making me connect the dots of the reason maybe Buddha wanted to turn away from his riches or his upbringing. Probably had a lot to do with this one right here. So getting in alignment with your divine nature, your original nature, is important. Meat. Oh, interesting. Yeah, meat and gluttony. Yeah, we've gotten so greedy, so flesh, everything's flesh. The wizard is the bad guy, wicked. Okay, the meat, the flesh. The wizard is the conductor. The wizard conducted all of this. And all these, I want to say factions. I don't really know what that means. I've looked it up before, but I can't remember. All of these micro factions are ripple effects. It goes up high at the top. And the wizard, which the Wizard of Oz came in the previous reading I did, which I'm gonna post. I mean, I need someone to put in the comments at least if you want to hear the original message, because I don't know if I'm gonna post it. But the Wizard of Oz came out, And now the wizard is the bad guy came out in this one, which is so funny, from the movie Wicked this time. Because the false god of this world has been Lucifer, who's playing tricks on on light. It's just like all this false stuff, you know? Trying to get, because the time is near. Tower of Babel. I'm on a roll. Trying to climb back to heaven. We have to reenact this. This is theater play. We are playing a game. This is fun, but it's eternity as well. So it seems endless. Like, when is this gonna stop? The Tower of Babel. We're climbing the ladder. AI was so heavy in the first reading, and it was trying to say everything's surveillance. We're all being watched. You're being watched. They're watching you through all these devices. You know, there were so many eyes around you, so much watch on you, because you had stepped outside of the stuff that you normally believe, you know, the stuff that the leader of the cult that you were attached to had you believing. It was all parenting. Yeah, it started with parenting. They had to beat the fear into the parents, so the parents beat the fear into us, and it's just passed down. Africa came out in both readings. Africa. What is it about Africa that it came out in the last 3 readings? Crying for help, Africa, asylum. Interesting. Is Africa the asylum? Because that means two things. What about asylum? If you don't adapt to 5D, you will suffer. Africa. I'm seeing Africa turn to tropics. I don't know what that means. Africa turning to tropics. Flat Earth. Interesting. So, I'm not trying to claim the Earth is flat, but there's something here about the pole shifts, the tilting, the tectonic plates, Africa, because it was once a land of water and rainforest energy. Everything's energy, frequency, and vibration. So how does that, the Pleiadians. So the Galactic Federation came out in the last reading, and now the Pleiadians are here, created an atom in their image to get the reptilians to stop eating them. Dead mother. That's a interesting. It's interesting. We got parenting. We got dead mother, which is a psychological term. Like, they use that in psychology to describe a mother that basically is present, like she's there, but she's not nurturing, she's not loving, she's not what you see in the movies mother. She's just this like walking zombie mother. Did I write anything? No. And then under that we got the worship gene, which is the God gene. Yeah, so they have this, we have this gene inside of us that they've discovered it can be turned on or off, where we worship or we don't worship. So there's something coming up here where Africa, oh, interesting. I don't know, I'm seeing now, okay, Africa had a lot of idol god worship. And I'm wondering if what I'm seeing here, because they're really confused about the pyramids 12,000 years ago, 4,000 years ago. When was it? You know, how'd they do it? What is this? And then Atlantis came out in the past reading. So I'm connecting the dots here of how, I feel like I should whisper, I'm like, shh, it's a secret, everyone. In the asylum here, it's like Africa was this luxurious place, this beautiful place that was tact, I guess maybe at some point, was in disalignment, you know, with pure, because we're talking back Nephilim time. So this is before Genesis. When is that? I don't know, long time ago, but it's in our DNA. Our junk DNA is activating. So we're discovering this in our world right now. And some of these beings are trying to prevent us from knowing the original concept of this worship. Like, why is our worship gene turned on or off? What is, it's like, and then when my throat gets like this, it's like something's like, nope, don't say it. But I'm gonna say it. So it's like when we were in the time before the Nephilim, before the fallen ones came down and mated with human women, I'm wondering if our worship gene was turned off and we were just in this state of bliss, this state of existence. That's why we didn't age. That's why we didn't think about time and math and linear and try to create a Tower of Babel. We didn't care about AI. We didn't care about tech. We just lived in lusciousness. I don't even know. But then as they came, because Adam is even here, they created Adam in their image to get the reptilians to stop eating them. It's almost like the Pleiadians and all these beings used to live on the surface because, sure, maybe they came from outer space, but I'm being shown like, okay, there was a time when we all lived on Earth, because I remember Lemurian time somewhat, and Atlantis came out. So it's like we lived on Earth and then we went underground to inner Earth, which is a whole nother thing. And some of them are in the Earth. I don't know who right now, but I'm just telling you what I see. And really, I kind of lost that. It didn't matter. You won't break my soul. You won't break my soul. You won't break my soul. It's a needle in a haystack. You ain't lying. Constantine. This also came out in the last reading, because on Constantine, he's discovered the spirit realm and he has to do all this ritual stuff. He has to become this magician. He has to fight evil. And there's other beings on Earth who don't realize what they are, like seers, like witches, and I can't remember, psychics, whatever they are. There's a whole bunch of beings that are waking up to the memories of what's been going on. Heaven is worth it. Heaven is worth it. Heaven is worth it. One more. Hearing voices. Hearing voices. We bury our unfinished business and we date our unfinished business. So you're going to keep repeating these cycles with these people as long as you don't, I don't want to say that. So it's like you're carrying out unfinished business because you have to repeat the lives over and over and over and over and over and over and over again until you remember how much bliss and purity that heaven offers. What it was like to be extortion. What it was like to be in that space before the fall. So this is like, yeah, it's hard to dive this deep, but this is for those that are, you're at about an 8, 9, or 10 here. You're ready to go. You're not, you're ready to get off the magic school bus. The magic school bus has been fun for a while, but we're tired. This is tiring. I'm over it. Kendrick Lamar. Tell him, Kendrick, reincarnated. If you haven't heard Kendrick Lamar's new album, new to me, but this year or whatever, last year, it is the truth Reincarnated. We reincarnated, guys. Okay, what else? What else do we need to know? Okay, what do we need to know? Jinn Alpha came in the last reading and the last president. So the creator there on top. What was coming through in the last reading? New York came out with Atlantis, something about Chicago because, okay, so we're gonna ground this a little bit. I know, but it's so much fun, isn't it? Okay. The prophecy of this time. This is very similar to a reset. This is a reset. And this book, The Last President, about riots, Madison Square Garden, the 24 electoral votes voted in this dude named Brian, and he held the wealth of the West, which was democratic. The new year felt like a rebirth. Idle men who are hungry, excited and animated, deluded people, drunk, poor people realizing the lies, the devilish Wall Street, soulless monsters dismantling. This was all going down. This was like what was happening in the year of the last president. And there were reparations for the crimes of 1873, which I believe had to do with slavery. Changes in currency, how we do trade. It was a nation for the people reestablished, and then silver administration. So they like converted from, I think, gold to silver. There were new taxes on millionaires, property, estates, luxuries, tariffs. Department of Public Works, barter and trade became a thing. So with Jinn Alpha here, Jinn Alpha is the generation that's becoming the adults right now. And these wonderful souls are very, very highly intelligent. So smart. They really they haven't been indoctrinated in the way that the previous generations have been. It's a very special generation that we need to love and nurture. This dead mother here with Jinn Alpha, it's like, don't dead mother these children. Don't try to force them. Oh, glad I remember this. I was at Olive Garden and this woman was with her 2 children at the table, and I could barely get through my meal without wanting to stand up and tell her to shut the F up, because she had a teenage daughter and then a little girl. The teenage daughter looked drained. She just looked like she just had given up. She was just kind of sitting there like this the whole time, just taking everything her mom had to say to her. And most people didn't notice it. You know, most people aren't paying attention. I didn't say anything. Me and my son are there. And I could just tell that the spirit behind the mother was attacking the Jinn Alpha kid. It was a Jinn Alpha kid. And her whole ploy was to make her feel small and insignificant and have power. It was a humiliation ritual. And again, I'm seeing this in the spirit world. I can't prove it to the waiter. Hey waiter, that mom over there, she's hazing her child. Like, I can't prove it. But when I left, my son saw it very clearly, And children have eyes to see and ears to hear, because the kingdom of heaven opens to those that come to God like a child. And when you see with your real eyes and realize what's happening, Tupac, you get to really know God. So this monster behind her is attacking this child. And I just see these Jinn Alpha kids being so powerful and so strong that the evil forces, the dark forces, they're sending in recruits. They're using even parents against the children, which they've been doing since forever. but the way they're doing it now is different. It's a little bit more malicious because so much is going on. It's hard to keep up. It's hard to pay attention. It's hard to stay on task. Everyone's attention span's 14 seconds. So when you can't follow what's actually happening, you get lost in translation. And these innocent, pure souls out here trying to be on God time, not speed of light, psychopath time. It's like we get unseen, unheard, and pushed aside because the dopamine, the receptors, everything, the hormones, it's all mental. They're messing with your head. So you have to be able to slow down. This is why meditation is so critical. It's so important. You got to be able to slow down enough to find the now moment. Because if that mother could catch herself and her jealousy, because she was obviously jealous of her daughter. For whatever reason, it was a jealousy. It was even anger, just jealousy, anger, entitlement. It was just so ugly. And we have to do everything in our power to try to remove the wickedness from our being. Because first of all, when we think we're holier than thou, there's already the problem. That's pride. That's the ultimate sign that you're in devil energy, where your pride is too big to apologize or to reflect or to say I'm sorry or to recognize that, you may be the asshole. I remember when I discovered narcissistic traits in myself, and I was like, oh no, there's no way I could be the narcissist, right? Well, sure, I wasn't born that way. I wasn't mostly that was something that was a learned behavior that I developed from being around them, that I started having traits to subconsciously fit in because I'm a part of it. So as humans do, to be a part of the group, we start to fit in and blend in. There's so many people that, because of my cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs side, they just make fun of me. They talk about me, all types of things. I'm slow. I need to be on, and it's like, see, I'm guarding my heart there. I'm like, because the anxiety that has caused me over time has pressured me to want to fit in. So it's like, we're getting to this place where we need to have no fear against these beings, because they're false light, first of all. They're shadows. They're monsters. They're, non-corporeal? I don't know. They're non-physical entities that play tricks on us, and they persuade, coerce, and convince us to do and be things that we are not, or that we don't want to do. But we do them because we're caught up in the flow of doing what everyone else is doing, that is not the holy path. How are you going to be holy and separate if you're doing what everybody else is doing? So get it together, people. Get it together. All of us, we doing this together, one step at a time. No guilt, no shame, no hate. 22nd Amendment, Star Wars, epigenetics. Have fun with it, because look, I didn't get to this point because I gave up, you know what I'm saying? Video games, it's all a game. Play the game. Use your logic, but also don't. Yeah. Is that it? I think that's it. So I'm so grateful. Thank you so much for listening if you made it to the end. And let me know what you thought below. And I'll see you next time. Bye.